My name is Margaret Mullin, and I'm Artistic Director of Ballet Tucson, and I'm now acting as a choreographer for this program. Desert Dweller to me came in a few ways. I grew up in Tucson, so I've always loved the city, but I love the nature of the Sonoran Desert as well. I lived in Seattle for about 15 years, and very different environment, very different climate, very different nature. And I would come back at least once a year, every year, to visit Tucson, and I just was really, I always had this feeling of calm here. I feel like there's something very grounded about the nature of the Sonoran Desert and the mountains that we have surrounding us, and there's, I think, just a kind of a quiet strength to the desert, and something about that just has constantly been on my mind. And I think now, being in my fourth season as director and knowing our dancers as well as I do, wanted to make something new for them, wanted to kind of get into this idea of exploring this thing that's kind of felt like it's been in my heart for a while. And so that was the first step. Desert Dweller is an abstract piece. It has no storyline, even from section to section of the piece, or 6 sections to it. No individual storyline at all. It really is truly just inspired by the nature of our region, the dancers themselves, and of course the music. So it's just an embodiment of those things. So inspiration for me for this piece really, one, comes heavily from the music. Misael is quite brilliant. It's quite a brilliant guitarist, but also composer. And Chieko Amada, my associate director, had received his CD and was listening to it for a while when we were working with Misael on another ballet, Barrio Viejo, which he also performed for and helped with the arrangements for. And she gave it to me to listen to, and I just fell in love with the CD and felt really compelled to choreograph. My mind goes into dancing places when I really like music, so I just started, couldn't turn that off. And so as I was driving around in my car listening to it over and over and over and over again, knew I wanted to make a piece to it. And I remember Misael was just so kind when I approached him at the shows of From Tucson with Love last season. And I said, wondering if we could maybe, and he said, yes. Well, you don't know what I'm gonna ask you. Whatever it is, yes. Okay, I actually would like to choreograph to your music. And he said, okay, absolutely, yes. So this has been fun. We've now had a year, for me to know that this was happening and work toward planning it. And I think just the more I've listened to the music, I felt like I would be doing myself a disservice, obviously, to ignore the fact that this is flamenco guitar music. And for me, growing up, I went to the Pacific Northwest Ballet summer course every summer, and was really fortunate to get to work with a flamenco teacher, Sarah De Luis, who I'm still in contact with. And she was one of my favorite teachers of all time, and just I loved those classes. Even though I was there for ballet training and ballet over the summer, I really, really loved getting to explore flamenco, and especially through her. She was such a wonderful teacher, and I really got to just see the beauty of the detail of flamenco dance and the power in it, and just how much presence it requires. And then I also got to work with her as a company dancer. When I joined the company, they were dancing professionally on Alexei Romansky's Don Quixote, and so I got to work with her in that capacity as well, so as a professional dancer and as a student. So I feel like she had quite a big influence on me. And so the more I started listening to music and the more I started getting into this choreographic process, it's kind of a hybrid of things. I myself, when I was dancing, loved to dance everything. So I didn't just love ballet, I liked contemporary movement. And so I feel like most of my choreography kind of ends up integrating a variety of things, but definitely I've been carrying Sarah with me as I've been working on this, and trying to add elements of flamenco dance in a way that makes sense, integrated with ballet and integrated with contemporary dance as well, really to pay homage to that beautiful art form and to honor it and make it a part of the musical life. For me, I think, I say this in my curtain speeches to our audience all the time. Just ballet is such a beautiful, profound art form. I think it's really extraordinary what dancers can do, not just physically as athletes and the strength that they carry, but also the artistry and the ability to touch people. And I think it's kind of an awakening. I feel like when you watch great dance performances, you are reminded of how much humanity is capable of. These are extraordinary people doing extraordinary things live in front of you. And so for me, I think just any of our shows, that's the wish that I hope people, experience, is that they they come out feeling inspired and hopeful, and that the world is broader, and that there is a lot of depth to humans and our spirit. And so for me, I think it's that plus, again, this deep appreciation for the Sonoran Desert. I think Tucson's been getting on the map more tourism-wise. Everything, people are starting to know our region and know how special it is. But I think having grown up here, it's just always been very profound to me. Like I said, the strength. I think it takes a lot of determination and grit to even survive here. You think about all the nature that blossoms and grows here in spite of incredible elements working against that. So I think there's just kind of a through line for me of like, I hope people just feel that they see the life of the desert, and for me, working in collaboration with Tohono Chul Gardens, that's such a beautiful space and has become one of my happy places. So that's why I wanted to work in collaboration with the garden on this, is to highlight the beauty of this region and the strength in it. I think this piece, Desert Dweller, is such a great highlight of our local arts community. I love this time of year in general because we do typically do some kind of collaboration with live music on stage through the Tucson Desert Song Festival and the Tucson Guitar Society, but I think people are really going to see the power of this. We have incredible talent right here in Tucson, and that we can be so proud of. Musicians that are performing all season long and providing great programming to our community and the ballet. We have an extraordinary group of dancers here that live and work in this community, and it's really cool to have these moments where we can all collaborate together and really highlight the strength of the art scene here. And I just really hope that people will feel excited about that and feel eager to support. We really do rely on our community support, and then Ballet Tucson, we're a 501c3 nonprofit. We are always working to give back to the community, not just through performances, but through education and outreach programming. And so we're really working to uplift and support our community, and providing access to great art right here in Tucson for families and people of all ages. So I think this is really such a great opportunity for people to see Tucson art really elevated, how exceptional it is and how wonderful it is when we all work together.